In this tutorial in Cyberlink PowerDirector, we'd like to give you some tips on using a new effect that's available for users of PowerDirector 365 and PowerDirector 21 from the Boris Effects Studio called Beauty Studio. It's a great way to enhance the skin color of the subjects in your videos. Now you can add an effect one of two ways. You can drop it right on the video or put it on a separate track. We're going to put this on a separate track so that we can track the difference between when it's on and when it's off. I'm going to increase the depth of my timeline. Then I will right click and I will choose Add Tracks. In this case, I do not want a video track. I'll zero that out, or an audio track. I'll just add one effect track, type the number 1 in, and I'll put it above track 2, which is below track 1, and click on OK. Now I have my effect track that we'll be using in this tutorial. So what I'd like to do is go to my effects. That's my FX on the left, or my F4 function key. And here I have all the effects. Now, one of the ones in PowerDirector 365 and 21 is a third party. I'm going to expand that. And here I have several that are new. Let's look at the one called Image Restoration. It says I have 8. I'll click on that. And I'm going to want to look at the subcategory. So I have to expand this to the right. I don't like using the images with the balloon. They really don't tell me much. So I'm going to change the view. I'll widen it even further so you can see the names of it. And I'm going to take the one called BCC Beauty Studio. I'll take and drag and drop that in my effect track in this segment of my video. And then we can minimize these and maximize our viewing screen. So I have that effect active right now. Now let's look at the difference. I'm going to turn it on and off and you'll see what it can do. And this is only part of what it can do. There's the woman's face with the effect active. I turn it off and you notice a difference. This is especially helpful when you have very high def photographs and it gets every pimple, every zit, every imperfection. This smooths it out in a rather nice way. Now let's look at how we can fine-tune this particular effect. So I'm going to click on it and click on the Modify button above the timeline. This will open up all my controls for this particular effect. And we have lots. This particular element here doesn't really show me much about what the effect does. I can't minimize that screen or make it go away, but we're going to focus on all these controls, and there are actually more. I have a whole host of stuff available here. We'll go through most of it. First is my master amount. Now this basically is your master control. If the value is over 100 up to 200, it will basically overdrive all of your smoothing edits of the person's skin. And you notice we are in the default area of the preset. Now if you want to edit it and change it slightly very quickly, you have 3 other presets. I click on the default and I have slight smoothing, moderate smoothing, and strong smoothing. So let's take this and go to slight, and you see the difference on the screen. Let's go to moderate, and then let's switch back to strong. So those are your 3 options that you can have. Otherwise, all these tools will customize. And you notice when I switch from one to the other, my sliders moved in each of these. So you have those 3 that you can choose as presets. You can also reset whatever editing you do by pressing the button in the lower right corner of that panel. So let's go back to our defaults. You notice in these sliders you have a smallest, small, medium, and large. Now what does that mean? It basically defines the approximate size of the array it uses in its algorithm to do the smoothing. So if you take the smallest one and modify that, you're working approximately with a 1 pixel by 1 pixel array. The small uses 2 pixels by 2 pixels approximately. The medium 4 by 4, and the large 8 by 8. So you can adjust these according to your preference. Then you have one called Preserve Contrast. This is one that looks at the original image and tries to say, I want the contrast to stay there as much as I can. And you can crank it all the way up to a sharper contrast, or you can back it down. So there's less of a contrast in the facial tones. The detail scale is something that affects the size of the arrays used for smoothing in a different way. It can actually reduce unwanted shine in the skin depending on your source video. So you can increase that or decrease that to modify that particular quality. Then you have, if you look down farther, a sharpen, the sharpening amount. Now if I turn the radius way up and the amount way up and turn the sharpen on, we're going to see the differences. So there's a very strong radius, and I'm going to keep mine very small. And you don't have an up and down arrow, but you can type in the value here. Maybe I want it at 3 or 2. And there I have a little bit, and I can take the sharpening amount and move it up or down any way I want. I can take the threshold number and move that as well. And so this is where you can add some sharpening to that particular image. I'm going to reset these all back to the default. You can also use a mask. Now let's see what the mask is all about, because this is a very interesting control. All of these controls here deal a little bit with what you see when you use a mask. If I click View Mask, this is what my mask looks like. And by default, if I'm going to just work on the skin tones of my subject in the video, I normally will want to use a mask, but you notice it's captured some other elements that will be smoothed as well. When I click on Use Mask, I don't have to see the mask, but this shows me exactly what it is. Then we have a pre-smoothing amount, a softness, a hue softness, a luma, a clip black, and a clip white. I won't go into all the details of these sliders. Let me show you something about the color. It automatically picks some colors for skin tone to use in your mask. Now you can override that. Let me try that here. I'm going to click the color B, and I'll do Select from Screen, and I'll take the darker color of her skin. Color A, move my palette, and now I'm going to do Select from Screen, and I'm going to take the light color in her hand. So that'll give me the contrast. So now if I click back up on my mask, I'm going to move and enlarge this a little bit more, and view my mask, you notice it's changed a lot because I've changed the color range of my mask by using the different colors, color A and color B. I can also modify the mask a bit by using some of these other tools if I want to, the Luma softness and hue and clip black, and that will vary a little bit exactly what is worked on in my mask. Now in general you don't want to mask lips and hair, and if I turn the mask off again, so these controls down here have a huge effect on the look and feel of the mask, what areas are actually masked, which areas are not. So I want to confine it as much as I can to the skin tones in my shot. If I take my effect track and turn it off, there is my raw video. I click on this again, and there is my modified video. And of course you can change the duration of the effect if you use an effect track to match your video or any part of it that you want. I believe this tool has lots of potential for lots of video editors because everybody wants great looking skin on their subjects in most of their shots. This is a great addition to the toolbox available in PowerDirector 365 and PowerDirector 21.